How's it going? We just onboarded one of the top fabricators in the Carolinas, and here's where we started, how we went about it. Now, we did get a few new partners recently, but this was one that I figured I'd share a video about because you watching might have a business like this. If you're in business for a decade, 2 decades, 3 decades, maybe even over 4 decades or more, this is something that would be valuable. Now, this team is one of the two best fabricators in their metro. They're one of the largest builders that way. They're very strong on the commercial side, and they primarily are focused more on countertops. Now, with them, because they have a full in-house operations, they don't have any subcontractors. They have a really big selection. They have an amazing service and they have good reviews, but their residential pipeline was just referral dependent. And that's what we are also here to fix. Now, you might have tried this before too, but like them also, like they also tried commercial, they tried a creative agency to help with their residential side, and that did not work ideally. They needed it for different purposes, but if you are relying on that, something to note is that you won't be able to maximize the amount of projects you get in because it's not conversion focused. That being said, like being referral dependent and not having proper marketing when it comes to your residential side will always cap your revenue. When it comes to our new partners specifically, we looked at their online presence because we wanted to analyze, see their strengths, their weaknesses. They have great reviews, they're active on House, they have a decent social presence. Their website does exist, but it's not built for conversion, which is okay. But without that, you're not going to actually be able to focus on getting in more conversions, right? Like if there's no marketing, you don't have any active acquisition channels, and there's a significant gap between your homeowners in your area who would want your services and the amount that actually know about it. And that is what we were working to fix. With the ad creatives, we have the angles mapped out ready, everything. We have a good diverse set of creatives, so that the slab walk, the slab yard, and we're working on that too with the showroom footage, with the team speaking. Now, beyond that, on our end, we provide a CRM with their calendar integrated so that whenever a lead comes in, we reach out to them as soon as possible. Ideally, we do it within 5 minutes. And whenever we set up a consultation, their design consultant will get notified. And basically, they just show up to the call on the calendar. Otherwise, if a lot of businesses tend to reach out to inquiries within 24 to 48 hours, that's way too much time. The landing page also is just a standalone one. It's something that we made. We'll have a qualification survey built in also. And the whole idea here is that we provide a free in-home measurement and a slab yard walk. And if we have a countertop that we're selling to a homeowner where they're ready to spend 4 to 8K, this becomes a pretty good offer. And you can always alter it accordingly if your service is higher ticket, like 50, 100, or 150K. With the ad launch too, like I said, the three important bits would be the CRM and calendar, having a landing page, and having the ad creatives, and then there are supporting pieces around that too. This is just an example of something that we're testing out uh, because we also want to A/B test landing pages. The survey isn't visible on this just yet because we were sorting out the design and figuring that out and trying to really see which one would fit their brand too. Ideally, I'd recommend you to A/B test at least 2 landing pages as you're running ads, just because it helps you see which offers make the most sense and which resonate most with your market. And this is just a little flowchart to show you that a CRM and a landing page will be that bridge to get you from losing leads because your response time is too slow to actually leading with, engaging with them as soon as possible and 5, 10, or even 20xing your results. So everything's ready. We are just waiting on some other things that we need to finish on their end with regards to the ads manager, and that's when we'll be able to launch. In general, if you work with a generic agency, just a normal agency, they do run ads from day one, right? They don't have any sort of method to actually capture the leads, reach out to them on time, make sure that we're actually building an acquisition system, not just throwing money at Meta. And that is one of the biggest gaps. And that's why we do the process in the way that I showed you. The goal here too, and for you, would be that we're able to get in at least 8 to 12 appointments a month. For these guys, because they're lower ticket in a way, it's just countertops, would be aiming for higher. But in general, if it's a kitchen remodeling, bathroom remodeling job, or any other high ticket contracting service, we would try to get at least 8 to 12 appointments a month. Beyond which, we want our cost per acquired job to also be within under 5% or whatever number makes sense for you. It again varies on the service. And this too, right? Like this whole first week is not just about ads. It's about making sure that we get the ads live, yes, but we have a system to actually support that. And if you are an established remodeling or contractor, remodeler or contractor, and you want to know what this looks like for your market, just book a call below. We can have a quick chat and we can see whether or not what you're doing is already enough, and if not, where we can help plug in to the system and help you level up the amount of appointments you're getting in. If you have any questions, feel free to comment down below, or you can reach out to me personally. The link will be there. Have a great day. Thank you. Hello. So this is a little bonus video in case you're watching the entire thing, because this is essential. This is probably the best takeaway you could have from this entire video, because the marketing aspect, as a business owner, you don't want to handle it yourself. One really important thing, and I've gone over this before, is understanding your ideal customer profile. Now, you might have done this maybe a few years ago. That's what I've heard whenever I've talked to business owners. They have a vague understanding of who their ICP is. But if we're actually trying to do a marketing campaign, you always want to have it written and have multiple profiles ideally, because that helps you make real good marketing assets and messaging that will actually resonate with your audience, where people look at it, homeowners look at it, and they're like, yes, this is something I want to inquire about. So let's just say you're doing kitchen, bathroom remodeling, or any other high ticket service, right? Your example your ICP would be a wealthy double income couple, for example. Now they are sitting on a 50 to $150,000 project. They've been thinking about it for months. They're researching, they're comparing, and they're nervous about trusting someone with the most expensive room in their house. Now that person is ideally not going to respond to a $2,000 off ad with a stock photo, and they do not fill out a three-field lead form. And even if they do, you're going to miss out on a lot who don't, right? And if you don't have the types of ads that are actually built to capture that type of person, you're not going to have marketing that works. Or even if it works, you're only going to get, let's just say, a 5x return on ad spend, whereas you could be getting a 20, 30, even a 50x, simply because the project size is this big. Now, some of the common objections that you should keep in mind, right, is that trust, right? Like, how do I know this quality will actually be what they show me? Are these actual projects on process? Like, how long is this going to take? How disruptive will it be? Will I have one point of contact or get passed around? On money, is this going to end up costing way more than the quote? Can I really trust them with it? Why is this so much more expensive? Is there value in this? On commitment, right? Like, what if I hate it once it's done? Am I locked in? And I want to compare three different remodelers. They're completely different quotes. At the end of the day, like, you want people to be able to trust. This is one of the objections, yes, but that is the summary of it. People need to trust that they're making the right decision of actually doing the remodeling, of actually doing whatever service that you're aiming for. And the second thing is that they trust you to carry that out. And that is what is essential. That is what you need to use marketing assets to handle. And those are the objections that you always want to try to solve even before you have a conversation with a person. Hope that helped. Let me know if you have any questions.